Hello, welcome. Delighted that you're here. Each week you'll meet a lady who will be sharing her story with you, and the intention is that you will be entertained, motivated, and inspired to share yours. It's time for women to rise and stand in heart-centered leadership. Join with us and stay tuned. We don't disappoint. Cheers. Welcome to Leading Ladies Leaving Legacies. And tonight my featured guest speaker, oh my God, what can I say? Her title, Ways to Come Alive Today, How to Live an Orgasmic Life. We're going to talk about that and a lot more. I am Joy Ruffin. I am your style and leadership coach, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. And it is my pleasure and my honor always to share time and space with you. And I could go on and on, but tonight I want you to hear from our featured guest speaker tonight, Coralie Coleman. I'm going to bring her up, and I want to say hello and welcome and thank you for being here with me. When I was able to read your story, I knew that you had to come aboard. So welcome, Coralie. Thank you for coming.
Oh, you're most welcome. I'm enjoying this kind of opportunity.
I know you are, and so am I. I heard your chuckle through the introduction. So tell us, what is it that had me so excited to meet and share with you? I know you have a little beginning that you want to share with us.
Yes. Well, my whole life and the way I coach is called transformation.
Yes.
I used to weigh 315 pounds, and it wasn't from the usual way overeating, part of it, of course, and exercise or medical condition. It was because I had been molested and had domestic violence in my life, and I ate to numb myself. And finally, I left in the middle of the night, pregnant with 2 toddlers, and decided I was going to learn how life was supposed to work. And that's when I started to transform my life. And these days I have come alive, and it is orgasmic. Think about when you've had the great sex. It's living like that every day.
Coralie, this is one of the reasons I wanted to have you here. And again, I am repetitive. I am honored to have you here because I love your story. The 315 pounds and then being diabetic, which we're going to talk a bit about tonight because my husband, and I know the issues that he's dealing with. And the other key word is transformation. And you have written these beautiful books, a series, and they're all titled Come Alive. And they are absolutely mind-blowing in the best way. How did you you share with us a wee bit, to writing? Yes. I'm going to read something from one of them in a second. But what brought you to the writing of these 3 books? What was your seed for beginning to write those books?
Well, it was, I was a needy child. I had such dysfunction and abuse. I gave a speech in my English class, and it went real well. And from that point on, I wanted to write things and do things and be, available. But mostly I was at the point I wrote the books was I wanted a manual on how to live life. And so I decided to do it.
Well, bravo to you. Bravo to you. And before we go any further, with your permission, it's a series of books, 3. Come Alive. The first one is Create Your Richer, Happier Life. And with your permission, Coralie, I would love to read to the audience how you start this book off, because it is so powerful. And the words that I use today is leadership, power, and confidence. Here's what you said. Come alive. Create your richer, happier life. Know the unknown. See the unseen. Feel the unfelt. Speak the unspoken. Hear the unheard. And find the true you alive and well. Coralie, when I read that, it resonated with me beyond words. That is so powerful. You share with us a little bit about the kids and the husband and the abuse and the dysfunction. Share with us a little bit more, because your books are powerful. That was in the first one, create your richer, happier life. Tell us about the second and the third and all of that, so that
The
people
first
want
book
to go.
is about how to create change in your life.
Yes, transformation.
Yes. And the book two is what I call the components of coming alive, which is emotional strength, mental focus, physical well-being, spiritual awareness, relationship connection skills, and manifesting. And the book talks about those unconscious messages that get in the way. I call them blank spots. And that's how we don't transform, is because we don't even know they're there.
Oh
And
my goodness.
and that's what I do when I coach. And that's what I had really hoped that people could understand when they read my books. The last book is on relationships,
Yes.
including the one about with yourself, which is the most important one. I used to think if everyone liked me, I'd be fine.
Oh.
No, I needed to like myself first.
Well, you know what, Coralie? I think many of us, most of us, come with that mindset. I know it was mine. And then as we mature and we evolve, we find out that's not so. So I hear you. And you mentioned words that are endearing to me, and I use them all the time: family, relationships, and community. Your third book is about relationships, whether it's extended family, relationships, or whatever. That's vital. I love how you preference this come alive and what it means to you and how impactful it has been for you in your evolving. Because for me and for you, I'm all about advocating, champion, and empowering women. And so are you, men and women. But share with us more about what brought you. You mentioned about the weight and the three diabetic. Tell us a little bit more about that transformation.
Yes, yes. What I did was to manage all the past messages swirling around in my head was to numb myself with food. I became emotionally addicted to food, and yet, I became diabetic, high blood pressure, the whole works that goes with weighing 315 pounds plus not being able to walk. Um, and I let go of 100 pounds, and then I stopped because I didn't deal with the emotions. And a couple years ago, I decided I was going to reverse diabetes
Good
because
for
you
you.
can. And what I realized, I thought I had dug up enough of my past that I would be able to do it. I had to go real deep, and I had to feel my feelings without comforting myself with food. And I used to have 5 medications for high blood
Diabetes.
pressure and diabetes. I'm down to one. And as I am now letting go of more weight, I'm going to get off that. And the doctor's she promised me that she'd take the diagnosis off my records.
Coralie, your story is so impactful to those because you're using words and you're expressing to us what many of us, I've been there, when you say food, the emotional eating and all of that, the up and down and how we deal and how we cope with that.
Right.
What was the impetus? What was the motivating factor? Maybe there were more than one. You're at 315 pounds. What was your deciding factor? I have to do something about this. I can't go on like this anymore.
Well,
What was it? That's what people want to know.
I hear you. Well, feeling disabled, I had to have my husband bring me to the door of the grocery store, and if they didn't have a writing cart, I couldn't shop. It was that bad. And since then, I've become a bodybuilder. My personal trainer taught me how to have a strong core.
Yes. Oh, another good word, a core. The core of everything is impactful.
Absolutely.
And now we're asked to probe and go into that core and do the transformation that's needed, especially us women. I really love that. And you mentioned abuse and dysfunctional childhood, and so many of us have had that in different ways. And yet, when you went to discover and find you knew you had to probe. I love the word probe deeper. And we were able to conquer and get over. What motivated you? I know the answer, but I want to hear it. To get this bodybuilder to help you to strengthen up your body and get that core strong the way you want it to be.
Well, I had a belief that I could do anything, with it. I couldn't become a basketball player, but I could do anything if I understood how to do it. and the way I did it was simply, um, anytime I had a challenge, anytime I felt bad, which usually was accompanied by binging, I would say, what is it I need to understand here? And bit by bit, it just, I grew and I developed life skills, and then I started to share it. I was so needy. The motivation always has been I was so needy for connection because I didn't have it as a child or in my first marriage, and but then I learned that the connection with me is what really brought me alive.
Your honesty and your straightforward delivery blows me away in the best way. You use the word needy, and that word is covered up, Coralie, in so many different ways because we all have these needs. We want to be seen, heard, and we want to be valued. And today, read, because we want people to get in touch with the books that you have here. And I love the title, Come Alive. That neediness you wanted to transform so that you can get to the core strength that was embedded in you initially. So that transformation was powerful. And then you used another word that's really attached to what you said. After you began to gain your awareness and your awakening, you wanted to share it. Is there anything better than that?
Well, it tells you you have truly come alive when you have filled yourself with what you are and what you want to do. My message came to me, I don't remember when, but way back, that helped me, and that was learn the meaning of love and how to express it. That was the way I was going to find ways to connect with people. And finally, when I did come to that sense of being alive and full, I started to find ways to give, and that was just a celebration. It
A
was joy.
celebration.
Yes, it was, because it was so joyful to know that I could connect with people and I could have close relationships. I had to go through some relationship conflicts in order to learn how to do it. It
I'm,
was
I'm
tough.
sure you. I'm sure you did, and I'm sure in your path, Coralie, many people came to give you the lessons that you needed. There's no question.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because whether you're karmic, whatever your faith or belief might be, that happens to all of us. We all have that. You
Mhm.
you mentioned that you were able to get to this word and understand it and embrace it. That's overused today, and I'm sad to say, and I'm not negative, and I'm not throwing shade. So many people use that word love, and they don't really get the core essence and meaning of it. How
No,
did you? Yes. When did you? You said you had something that occurred to you. What came to you about this word love? Because more people need to hear that. What was your transformation and understanding of this word love?
well, what what came to me was that I when I started to connect with people, I thought that I needed them to worship every word that I gave, every sense of um,
Yes.
Coralie being just so smart and strong and all that kind of thing, and it didn't fill me, you know. Love. I realized that when I have someone that I struggle with, or when I have a challenge, physical or otherwise, that if I look at that challenge as some new understanding, it it fills me. And I thought, that's what love is: being filled and at peace. I say I'm calm, clear, and empowered these
Ooh,
days.
I love that. I love that. I'm going to ask you this, and I always go for gut level, soul level honesty.
And you're
And
going to
I
get it.
good. I don't have to be right all the time. I gave that up several years ago because there was
Oh,
a
me
little bit of
too.
yeah,
Me
a little
too.
bit of that perfectionist in me, but it went by the by. But here's what I want to share with you, and I want your input on this. I love the word love. Most of us who are in the process of becoming all that we're here to be and to share our wisdom and our gifts with others, we value and respect the word love. But here's what I know, and you have expressed it in different ways. That love has to come initially and initiate and begin with the loving of yourself. loving you, every part about you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the ugly is not ugly, it's just very, very different, maybe from others as they
Or
perceive beauty.
misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Love that word. Thank you for that. But how we embody the love for ourselves, that's the beginning seed of being able to share with others. Would you agree with that? And would you expound on that?
Absolutely, because I didn't get anywhere. I didn't, I just thought, well, I'm kind of introverted. Maybe, I'll just never have many relationships. But the truth is, I wasn't filled. I didn't have anything to give. And that's what love is when you give. When you give from your heart, not a mental thing or a sexual thing or anything like that. It's just you feel so calm and free and at peace. And that's some more of the definition of coming alive.
Well, I think you expressed that beautifully because that type of love means that you can give out because you have filled up from within and you don't look for the repeat back. Because when you began to want it to be a complete reciprocal arrangement all the time, that's not love. That's
No,
something
it's not.
else.
And I, like I said, I wanted people to worship me, and I thought that was I'm going. And one day I finally realized how that doesn't sound so good. You're wanting people
Coralie,
to worship you.
Coralie, your honesty for me is breathtaking. I don't meet, and this is why you're here tonight, and I'm loving the exchange that we're having because you're sharing so much that we, especially as women, we really need to hear and understand and embrace it at our core. I'm going to take a quick little break just to say hello and introduce to some people what I want to happen tomorrow. And I'll be back with you in just a second. So hold tight. Quiet as a church mouse. I'll be right back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What I want to invite you to is a leading lady, leaving legacies, featured guest speaker tomorrow. It's on my Facebook business page, the event, and there's a link there. And all you have to do is show up. Because if you show up and you participate, then at some point in time, you will be the featured leading ladies, leaving legacy guest speaker. And that's what we're aiming for. We want you to come join in and participate. And I also have a masterclass coming up on the 26th. But today, I want you to just remember tomorrow at 4:30. I would love to see you there. And all you have to do is get to my Facebook business page, or you can go to my Facebook group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, and there's an event there, and you can sign up, and the link is there. Please come up and show up because you won't regret it. And that's a promise to you. Can't wait to see you there. Now, I'm going back to you, Coralie, because your message and the books absolutely just took me away in a place, in a spot that I needed to be. Coming alive, especially for us women today, and your story about the husband and the kids and so on, that's what it's about. Standing in your own power, leading yourself so that you can share that leadership with others. Tell us a little bit more about the journey of how you came to this self-awareness, this self-esteem and confidence that you have about you and who you are.
Well, my kids used to call me a self-help junkie. I read every book that got in front of me, and I went to workshops. I joined this. I watched this person and did this and did that, and it was because I just didn't feel I knew. I didn't. We're not taught.
No, we're not.
We're not taught life skills.
No,
We're
we're
not
not.
taught communication. We're not taught relationship skills. But as it started to unfold for me, I would gain more peace and more freedom and empowerment, and that's real motivating, believe me.
I know it is. I know it is. I'm on this journey myself right there with you. And it's been a journey. And I express in different ways, different times. I'm an open book, and yet there's a private side of me as well. But people today can find out any and every and all things about you. But you mentioned life skills. And we as women, we are taught, and we are, because men, and we love men, I'm not knocking men, we are objectified where our bodies are all that there is to show, the two B's and the V. And I always use this because I want women to get away from that. But what brought me to you and what had me embracing you and what you're about is what I read in the beginning, because this is so fearful for people, Coralie, to know the unknown, especially if they're religious zealots. And I say that in love because I come from that background. See the unseen, feel the unfelt, all of these things. I mean, we reside in our comfort lanes, and it's hard to do that transformation. So that's why when I read this, I knew that there was a soul connection here, because that took a
Yeah.
lot of work for you to come to that,
What
right?
happened was that I found my spiritual connection
Yes.
and trusted my intuition. And whenever I would ask, what is it I need to understand to get out of this pain? This is just I would get an answer. It would pop into my head in the middle of nowhere, and or I'd read something or I'd see something. And that is, to me, the real key to finding yourself, is to listen to your intuitive nature, your true heart. We try to solve everything with our mind, and our mind is
Yes.
only guided by what we're saying. What it thinks is important, it will go for. You know about the reticular activating system. When the brain thinks something is important to you, it will bring it to you. And the whole universe conspires to make it happen.
I love that expression. You know, you have on the back there a quote that I want to speak to. It says, you gave me this quote: don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive. That too is so impactful. But the other thing that you mentioned, my tag is personal, professional, and spiritual. And spiritual that you just spoke to is being open to that inner voice that's there. It's just waiting to blossom,
Absolutely.
right? It's
Right.
waiting. And so many of us, we hide it, we conceal it, we embed it in something that we don't want to probe and get to out of fear. I get it.
And
Been
that's
there.
usually what's going on. And people aren't taught about how to feel their feelings, and and they're afraid they're going to bring up their past. But the thing that I counsel people on is, you are an adult now. You're
Yes.
stronger now. You won't go through the hell you went through when this happened to you, because you know how to say no.
Yes.
You're able to. A child might not be able to.
Yes, absolutely. There's no question about that. And the discovery of you, that's why my tagline is personal, professional, and spiritual awakening, development. It's the same thing. And we as
Absolutely.
women, Coralie, few of us, few of us grew up with a solid foundation to value our temples, our vessel, this body parts, not the body, not the vessel. And that's why I love the work that you're doing, because you're going way beyond that into the mind, the body, the spirit, the essence of the soul core of who we are. And
The
I think
whole
that's
the
just
whole person.
the whole person. Yes, exactly. And then I say bravo to you. What what tips could you give to any woman, especially those, like, I speak for myself because these are the women that I hope to bring more to me, midlife, second act, second chapter. It really is regardless of age. What do you want to share with them about having an awakening that will be impactful and powerful for them?
Simply take each day. Any challenge that comes to you is a gift. It gives you an opportunity to learn something more and move you forward. That's what I did, and it was amazing how it would happen, that the answer would come. What is it I need to understand to get over this fight I had with somebody? And the answer would come. I meet up with somebody and she'd give me the answer. It's like and to have faith in your own process, but
Yes.
but challenge it, not be afraid to feel. Not
That's why you said earlier, when you are about that, the earth, the universe will conspire to meet and greet you where you are
Absolutely.
and
It's,
give you. I
if you
believe
look
that.
at it strictly on an energy level, when you get to the energy of openness and love and trying to fill yourself and give to others, things happen. The synchronistic things that happen to me are so amazing. I'll have something on my heart and it'll show up. It's like, oh, wow.
Well, you know, what I read in the beginning is the foundational base for the three of your books. And that's why I'm absolutely in awe of it in the best way. I don't put people on pedestals. I've gotten over that as well. But I do have the highest regard and respect for people who are on the path to their own awakening and sharing that with others. You know, the time flies here. I don't know where it goes, but it flies by. Coralie, you and I could go on and on and on, and we will because we're connected now. But
Yes.
share with us what it is that you would like to leave the audience with and how they can connect with you. I will run your website across here. What is the gift that you would like to share with them? I'll put that up now.
I would like to offer anyone who's interested in coaching a free 30 to 45-minute session. And you can find out that information on my website, and you can find out more about my books, tools, resources, and everything. Just go to my website, and it'll help you connect to me.
Well, that's good, and that's what we need, because we need more men and women like you, like us, who are there to share the lessons that they've gained, that they've learned, the wisdom that they've gained with others. That's what it's all about. I would love to have you back again, and I'm hoping that you will. I'm sure you will, because
anytime.
your work is so needed, and we as women, we need each other, and that is my prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to put you in the green room. Say so long, but I'll be with you shortly. Thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being such a great interviewer.
Oh, bless your heart. Love you much. I'll be with you soon. Thank you. Listen, I meet the most dynamic, fantastic, amazing women from every strata, every level, every age, every. And I am endearing myself to each and every one of them because the heart and the soul is connected. And that's the purpose. We all have different things that we have to learn and become more masterful of and with. But yet the connecting, the sharing, the collaboration, that's what it's all about. So let me say to you, if you're available tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, please join us, because every leading lady who comes to speak and share and meet with you, it behooves you not to be in the same camp so that you can do a connection with them. So until we meet, and we will soon, I'm going to say to you, so long for now. Be well, stay safe, share out this video, and whatever you do when it's convenient for you and the time is right, because I know we're all so busy, make sure you connect with all of the leading ladies that I bring to you, because that's what we're here to do, to meet, to greet, to share, and collaborate. Be and stay well. I'm sending you always much, much love. So long for now. Cheers. Well, okay, leading ladies, leaving legacies, not ever goodbye. Why? Because it's our time. Join us as we move onward and upward in style. Connect with me on my website. I can't wait to meet you. Make it soon. Cheers.